Welcome. We're jumping right into chapter 4, wasting no time. Chapter 4 is desire. The changes which take place in your life as a result of your changed concept of yourself will always appear to the unenlightened to be the result not of a change of your consciousness, but of chance, outer cause, or coincidence. However, the only fate governing your life is the fate determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions. For an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. So you change that concept, you hold it, persist, and it becomes a belief instead of just a feeling, instead of just a fleeting thought or an ideal. It becomes real when you persist. The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself, will not be realized by you until you have imagined that you are already that ideal. Again, it stays an idea unless you give it human parentage, unless you embody it. Otherwise, it just stays in your mind, right? There's no escape for you except by a radical psychological transformation of yourself, except by your assumption of the feeling of your wish fulfilled. That's important to note that it has to be a psychological transformation. Your thoughts are going to change when you change your concepts of yourself. When you start changing the way that you look at things, everything that comes after that, everything that follows is going to change also. Everything's going to change. So just be mindful of that. Therefore, make results or accomplishments the crucial test of your ability to use your imagination. So let the things that happen afterward, let that be the test of your changed concept. Everything depends on your attitude towards yourself. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. For that attitude alone is the necessary condition by which you realize your goal. All transformation is based upon suggestion, and this can work only where you lay yourself completely open to an influence. So you have to be open to the idea of what you want to believe about yourself. You must abandon yourself to your ideal as a woman abandons herself to love. For complete abandonment of self to it is the way to union with your ideal. If you're resisting these ideas, if you're not accepting them to be true, they're not going to be true for you. You have to be open to it. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. For me, this means the same way that you're aware, and I said this before I think, but the same way that you're aware of your being right now, all the things that you believe to be true about yourself, all the things that you accept as fact about who you are, what you can have and what you can do, the way that you memorize, the same familiarity that you have about every part of yourself and your life right now, you would make the same to be true about what it is that you want to be or who it is that you want to be. It needs to have that same familiarity, that same vividness of reality, like he says. So make it real for you. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. That is, you must assume the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire. So keep that feeling until you are possessed by it, and this feeling crowds all other ideas out of your consciousness. So when you persist in the assumption, it becomes a full thing. Everything that used to be you completely leaves your mind, so your thoughts are going to change. The man who is not prepared for the conscious plunge into the assumption of the wish fulfilled, in the faith that it is the only way to the realization of his dream, is not yet ready to live consciously by the law of assumption, although there is no doubt that he does live by the law of assumption unconsciously. So whether you're aware of the choices that you're making, if you're aware of the concepts that you're placing on yourself and your world, whether you're aware of those things or not, it's still happening for you. You're manifesting every second of the day with every thought, every feeling that you accept to be true. It's producing itself. The man who's not prepared for the conscious plunge, if you're not going to allow yourself, if you're not willing to lose this present version of yourself right now, then you can't become anyone new. That's just, you can't change if you don't allow yourself to change. If you don't let go of the past and all the things that make you who you have been, then you stay exactly as you are. Nothing can change if you don't change. But for you who accept this principle and are ready to live by consciously assuming that your wish is already fulfilled, the adventure of life begins. To reach a higher level of being, you must assume a higher concept of yourself. If you will not imagine yourself as other than what you are, then you remain as you are. For if ye believe that I am he, For if ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. If you do not believe that you are he, if you do not believe that you are the person that you want to be, then you remain as you are. Nothing changes if you don't change. What you don't assume to be true will not be true. You have to be open. You have to surrender your past, surrender your present self to the person that you want to be. Through the faithful, systematic cultivation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled, so by persisting in that feeling, when you visualize it, stay in that feeling, desire becomes the promise of its own fulfillment. It no longer remains a wish. It no longer remains as something that you want. It doesn't stay as an ideal. It becomes who you are. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled makes the future dream a present fact. So just assuming that feeling, assuming that state of being, and persisting in it. Hold it, live as if, act as if, and it becomes a present fact. And that is chapter 4, pretty short. I hope this helped, and I love you, and I will catch you next time. Bye.